we throw around the words feelings and emotions all the time, right? Like they're the same thing. But it turns out there's a huge difference between them. And honestly, getting a handle on it can completely change how you see your own inner world. So let's dive in.
I mean, some days you're feeling great, everything's cool, and then the next, bam, you're angry or anxious or just totally overwhelmed. It's that classic emotional roller coaster we all ride. But what if I told you that most of what we call emotions are actually just a distorted version of something way, way purer?
So here's the big idea. Feelings and emotions are not the same at all. See, feelings are this natural, pure state. They're unbiased. They just are. Emotions, though, that's a different story. They're our reactions. They tend to be clouded, biased, and often a pretty distorted version of those original pure feelings. Okay, now here's a really cool way to think about it. Picture a feeling as a clean, bright fire. It's all warmth and light. Now, emotions are the messy, thick smoke that you get when you start throwing damp, impure wood onto that beautiful fire. The fire itself is still pure, but what you experience is all that cloudy, choking smoke. It's the perfect question, isn't it? If our feelings are this clean fire, then what in the world is this damp, smoky wood we keep tossing on it? What are these impurities that turn a simple, pure experience into a messy, complicated emotional reaction? Well, you can think of these impurities as our past impressions. You know, all those emotional memories and biases we've picked up over the years. Every single experience, especially the really intense ones, kind of leaves a little residue behind. That residue is the dampness in the wood, just waiting to create smoke. And here's the absolute heart of it. The main source of all this damp wood is our ego, our sense of I, of me, of mine. The ego is what grabs a simple, pure feeling and makes it personal. And in that moment, it transforms it into a complex, smoky emotion. So how does the ego make so much smoke? Well, it plays what you might call a claim game. To feel real and solid, it starts claiming ownership over everything. It's not just a body, it's my body. It's not just an idea, it's my idea. My car, my reputation, my family. You get it? The ego's entire identity is built on this foundation of mine. And this is exactly where the trouble starts. Because as soon as we label something as ours, we automatically create expectations for it. My car should always be perfect. My reputation should be spotless. And you know what happens when reality doesn't line up with those expectations? We react. And that reaction, that's the smoke. Let's walk through a super simple example to see how this plays out. Okay, step 1. An event happens. A car gets a scratch. No big deal, right? A pure feeling might just be, that's unfortunate. But then, step 2, the ego swoops in. Hey, that's my car. And boom, step 3, an expectation is there. My car is supposed to be pristine. When that expectation gets shattered, you hit step 4. Hello, smoky emotions. Anger, frustration, the whole deal. And this just lays it out perfectly, doesn't it? On the left, you've got the pure feeling. It's a simple, unbiased observation of what happened. On the right, you've got the emotional reaction, totally supercharged by the ego's sense of ownership and its broken expectations. One is a calm perception. The other is a full-blown personal crisis. All right, so we've talked a whole lot about the smoke, but what about the fire itself? Let's take a minute and look at what it actually means to experience a pure feeling without all of the ego's interference. You know, it's kind of like how fire can burn in different ways. Our inner states are the same. Down at the bottom, you have that smoky fire of emotion, impure, reactive. Move up a level and you get the bright, clean flame of a pure feeling. And then at the very top, there's a state that's even cleaner, described as being like an electric spark. So this electric state, that's the essence of pure feeling. It's just clean energy, a clear current that is totally free from the smoke of our reactions and the heavy, solid weight of the ego. It's a state of just pure perception with zero personal baggage attached. So what does that actually feel like? Well, as you can see, it comes from the heart. It's totally unbiased. It doesn't have a list of likes and dislikes. It's generous, it's open, and it's accepting of reality exactly as it is, before our minds get a chance to jump in and complicate everything. Okay, This is all pretty fascinating, right? But let's get practical. Why is it so important to know the difference? I mean, how does this actually help us navigate our day-to-day lives? It's because once you can see the smoke for what it is, just a product of your own ego and old baggage, it stops controlling you. You can watch your anger or frustration pop up without getting totally swept away by it. You can shift from being purely reactive to being mindfully responsive. Really, the first step is just to notice. Next time you feel that smoke rising, just ask yourself, what expectation of mine was just broken?
And when you start to get this, the shift can be, well, pretty huge. We can literally move from being reactive to responsive, from being caught up in selfish concerns to being more selfless, from feeling heavy and complicated to feeling light and simple. We can even move from being lost in our thoughts to just being present in our feeling.
And hey, let's be super clear about one thing. The goal here is not to become some kind of emotionless robot. Not at all. Emotions are a part of being human. The goal is simply to gain a little wisdom, to understand where all that smoke is coming from, so you can tend to that fire within you a little more clearly. So I'm going to leave you with something to think about. What if your anger, your fear, your frustration, what if those things aren't fundamentally who you are? What if they're just the smoke created by some old, damp wood, briefly clouding the bright, clean fire that is always burning within you?